Thank you to EA for being the sponsors of today's video. I hope you guys enjoy.
Och, Wraith, I ought to show you my wee bonny lad Newty. Pure Barry, I tell ya.
Horizon. You know I hate children.
Ach no, you're steaming my wee bampot.
Big brother coming in hot. What did I miss?
Just introducing Wraiths and my wee lad. Oh my god, what is she doing? Stop that! What the fuck? Oh my, oh no! Oh laddie!
Hello then, you wee bampots, how are you doing? It's your boy Ashton. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. You lot seem to enjoy my 20 bomb guide I put out a few months ago, and I thought, you know what goes really well with a 20 bomb badge? That's right, the 4K badge. Every sweat you've ever seen on Apex Legend. Apex Legend? Just the one legend. Every sweat you've ever seen on Apex Legends has both of these badges, so it was only right that I make a guide on how you can get the 4K badge as well as the 20 bomb badge, so here we are. As always, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content from myself. I really appreciate all of the support you guys have given me recently to hit 60,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Now then, with all that being said, there are two main ways that you can get the 4K damage badge on Apex Legends. Those ways are to have a high kill game or to grind it out the hard way. Now, let's be honest, getting a 4K damage badge is actually way easier than getting a 20 bomb badge, because when getting a 20 bomb, you have to hope that other players in the lobby don't die to each other, and that's not something you can control. Whereas with a 4K damage badge, you can grind out that damage no matter how many players are left in the lobby. But for me, the best way to get your first 4K damage badge is actually to go for a mixture of high kills and grinding out the damage yourself. Let me explain. The gameplay you're watching on screen is a gameplay I got a few days ago, and it's my highest ever damage game in Apex Legends. Mainly because I don't really solo queue too much, and I don't often grind damage, especially on characters like Bangalore, who I've already got the 4K damage badge on, but for the purposes of this video, I decided to go out of my way to try and grind out a high damage game for you to show you how easy it is to force high damage numbers in this game. Now, just like with the 20 bomb guide, you're going to want to land somewhere that's relatively hot off the drop, meaning 2 or 3 teams are going to be landing there with you in hopes that you can get a few kills off the drop and a few thirsts as well. Thirsting is going to be the most obvious tip I give you guys first up, because as you all know by now, the 100 damage that you deal to an opponent whilst they're knocked on the floor does actually count to your end damage numbers. That means if you hit someone for 100 whilst they're up and running around, and then thirst them for the extra 100 damage, that is 200 damage added to your end damage tracker. So when you include armor on top of that, for example a white shield, you get 250 damage per kill. Now, there is no guaranteed way to land into the game and guarantee yourself a good gun and armor to kill everyone with off the drop, but sometimes you will get that, and it is on those occasions that you need to go out of your way to get as many kills and thirsts as possible. It is off the drop that you're going to find it your easiest to get your first 1k to 1.5k damage of the game. Honestly, this is the easiest time to grind kills and damage, obviously because no one's going to have armor, guns or shields, so if you're lucky and you get the good shields and guns and your enemies are running around with nothing, you can easily grind out a lot of easy damage and kills. Just be on it, be sure to be hunting those enemies down, and don't be scared of anything. Even if they do have a good gun or armor, you do have a very good chance of killing them, as chances are they won't have a lot of heals or ammo. So then, you've survived the drop, you've got good guns and armor, and a lot of shields and heals. What next? Well, if you're on around 5 or 6 kills, you're probably looking to go and get about 5 or 6 more. Now, this isn't going to be easy for everyone, but I would go out of my way to try and find where everyone is fighting, and just find a position where I'm not in the middle of it, but I am in a position where I can do damage. That's a lot easier said than done, but if you can find yourself in a position where you're griefing fights but also able to get knocks and thirsts, that is the absolute best position to be in. You don't want to be too far away that you're not dealing enough damage, because as you all know, there is weapon damage drop off in this game, so if you're miles away shooting bullets at them, it's not even going to be dealing that much damage if it hits them. But if you're in amongst it, getting the kills and the thirsts, then you're in a great position to be getting a lot of damage and thirst damage as well. At this stage of the game, I would still probably recommend guns that you feel comfortable killing people fast with. I wouldn't say that you pick up those griefing guns just yet, because honestly, you still need to deal a lot of damage before you're in the place that you're able to sit back and grief and comfortably know that you're going to get that badge. At this point, rock the close range and mid-range guns, go in and get some kills, but watch your life, play your life, be careful and make sure that you don't die. Now if you're at a point where you're comfortably confident that you've dealt a lot of damage this game, then it's your time to go and look for a long-range griefing weapon, like a G7 Scout, a triple take, or even a charge rifle. Whatever it is that you feel comfortable using, go find one, pick it up, sit at the back and grief everyone. That doesn't mean don't get involved if you have an opening or an opportunity. Back yourself, believe in yourself to go in there, because at this point you've already had a great game and you're probably flowing with confidence and maybe a little bit of adrenaline because you're excited because you know you're so close to that damage badge. But be careful still. Obviously value your life and play your life closely, but also deal as much griefing damage as possible, because at this point you don't need to go in and force any fights. You're that close to the damage badge now that you can probably grief it up from a little bit of a distance away, especially with a gun like the charge rifle, which makes it so easy. But the main important thing in my opinion is not to do this off the drop. You want to be doing this once you've already got a solid foundation of damage and kills in the bank already, because it feels like you're dealing a lot of damage sometimes with the charge rifle or the longbow or the triple take, when in reality, just because you're hitting a few tough shots doesn't mean that you're dealing a ton of damage. That is very important, because it feels like in Apex that you're dealing a lot of damage a lot of the time, but in reality, it's not actually that much. As many of you will know already, in Season 8 there is a damage tracker coming into the game, which means you'll be able to keep track of how much damage you've dealt in every game. Currently that's not in the game though, so I'm going to tell you a little trick on how you can keep track of your damage as it's coming in game. If you're going out of your way to get your first 4K damage badge, what you can do is put your damage dealt tracker on your player card, and what you can do is take a note of how much damage that is on before the start of every game. Write that down in your phone or on a notepad or something like that in front of you, and during the game check your player card to see how much damage that has gone up by, subtract that from the original number and you've got the amount of damage that you've dealt in that game. This isn't something I personally do, but if you're really desperate to keep track and play it safe, this is definitely something you could do to keep track of your damage numbers. My last tip for you guys is that when you think that you've got the damage badge, there are 2 squads left and you think, right, it's time to kill these guys and end the game, you've not got it. I've learned the hard way so many times that you can be so close to that 4K damage badge, be absolutely confident that you've already got it, end the game, and you're 5 damage off. It's insane how many times this happens to people, so as a rule of thumb, always think to yourself, when you think that you've got it, you've not got it. Grind a little bit extra every single time if you can. So as a quick overview, make sure that you drop in getting a lot of kills and thirsts off the drop and continue that into the mid game, getting a lot more kills and thirsts if possible and being amongst the action as much as possible. Then late game, if you feel like you've dealt a lot of damage and you don't want to sacrifice your life, pick up a griefing gun, sit back and deal as much damage as possible, but also get involved if you see an opening. And lastly, but not least of course, when you think you're done, you're not done. Grind a little bit more damage every single time and you'll remember that I told you this and you'll say that it was definitely worth it, because trust me, you don't want to be one of those people that gets a 3.9k damage game. It sucks. With that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel for more regular Apex Legends content from myself, and until next time guys, it's been your boy Ashton and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and goodbye.